along the way, she got her MBA there and started. Summers has climbed Kilimanjaro. She's run 9 marathons. So definitely has had a lot of both, like I said, the academic background, but also the applied practical real life experiences that make her the entrepreneur. Please join me in welcoming Summer.
Thank you. Wait a minute, but thank you for that challenge. We're going to talk today about things. We're going to talk about mission, the courage to fail, and building the entrepreneurial infrastructure. When I first graduated college, I had a fantastic opportunity to work at a studio. I loved the movie business. I loved the innovation and the storytelling, and I knew I was passionate about inspiring people. I was a button pusher at Paramount. And there are a lot of people. I was in the sales function. It was great, but I wasn't actually making their So I made the decision at 26 to change. 26 people to change from Paramount to a startup production management company called War. After the first year of War, I had the opportunity to help them build their infrastructure, found my way into the brand management side, very new at the time, 2005. And my boss said, Summer, we need you to be more mature. You need to be more angry, you need to be more aggressive, and you don't really care about the person in front of you. I was like, fuck that. And that wasn't me, right? That wasn't who I am. That wasn't what I believed in. So I went home that night and came up with my first personal mission. So, mission statement 1, written in 2005. I am a curious, creative, and loving person who, while using skills of organization, effective communication, and positive energy, help others achieve their goals. I am calmly aggressive, subtly sensual, and passionate about my tasks. Creation of joy for myself and those around me is my primary goal, for my personal success will be derived from those efforts. So I sat and I looked at that mission statement. Okay, passionate, loving, determined, creation of joy derived, success derived, clearly not effective in a management company where I was being trained and taught to kill. Just not my business. So I made the decision to move on to a new entrepreneurial endeavor, which was a smaller production company that was creating reality television shows. At that time, the reality TV market was changing a lot. And producers were being encouraged to produce shows for lower and lower costs. We had to be incredibly innovative in how we got things done. We had to hire all college students that we didn't pay anything in order to have production teams. And so I really got my first taste of what it was like to run a startup. And in that, I learned about mentorship, and I learned about coaching and teaching. And I learned that we get as much from coaching and teaching and mentoring as those we coach, teach, and mentor. So at that time, I had these great ideas. I was making this super exciting, loving show about this burlesque troupe in Los Angeles called the Lala's Burlesque, and it was a sisterhood, and they were sexy and not wearing a lot of clothes, but also dealing with real human girl issues, and they were super relatable, and they were all really good friends. And I went to the network, and they were like, we kind of need them to fight more. Could you get them to fight in costume? And so once again, I looked at this group of women, and I produced other shows. Who Wants to Be a Race Car Driver was a project in development, and a series called Extreme College Rivals and NHRA Unleashed, a lot of automotive super guy stuff, which was a lot of fun, and I learned a tremendous amount. But the Lalas Burlesque, this love show, was something I really wanted to produce, and the network quite literally said to me, "We want bitches pulling weaves." So once again, I said, fuck that. That's not my ethos. That's not who I want to be. So I left and I went to graduate school, and I went to UCLA Anderson because I thought there has to be a better model. And I'm determined in this process to develop infrastructure and intelligence education to be able to build a better model, to be able to build a company that serves my original needs, my goals. While I was at Anderson, I got the second entrepreneurial opportunity to create UCLA Anderson Edge. The university had a big opportunity given by a donor to create an entrepreneurial program targeted toward undergrads. And the donor required that the university not hire an administrator, but an entrepreneur to run it. So this was my first opportunity to really look at my entrepreneurial skills and test them in a great big infrastructure where there was countless funds, tons of energy, anything, I had interns more than I could find. I had assets. So I got to launch a company with a $150,000 grant. And in 2 years, created an entire infrastructure and sustainability for this company. That was amazing. It was fantastic. I was like, I'm an awesome entrepreneur. I win. So I decided, okay, I need the next challenge. It's built to sustainability, infrastructure, great. I don't want to do it anymore. I like to start things and run them entrepreneurially. I don't want to work in a university environment. So I decided to go climb Kilimanjaro to kind of reset. So I came down the mountain from Kilimanjaro, and over the course of these years, I had been married, been divorced, gone through a head injury, and changed from that. I'd lived a lot, I'd learned a lot, I'd loved a lot, I made terrible man decisions. I'd come out of those terrible man decisions in a healthy way. And I came down from Kilimanjaro, where I did have to turn around 2 miles from the top, because after a 5-day climb, I got up and I was coughing blood. I looked into my glove and I said, my life or my ego, I can come back to this mountain. Most people don't get 2 miles below the top of Kilimanjaro. I did. Okay. Success, failure, I don't know. So I turned around, I came back down the mountain, and I wrote another mission statement. I said, somehow I want to turn my passion for love, inspiration, adventure, healing, and learning into a successful and lucrative career. Now, Jacques mentioned earlier that I'm not all about transaction, but this was the first time in my life where I said, you know what? I want to earn for what I do. I don't want to just make a living. I want to make an empire. I want to make a huge career that can change the world and put lots of money in my pocket. That's still the goal, Jacques, so don't keep an eye on that. So from that, I came down from Kili, wrapped up my time at UCLA Anderson Edge, and did what every entrepreneur should never do. I left my network. I left my home. I moved to a completely remote area where I didn't know anyone, and sat in my home with my fiance, his 2 children, and my cats, and said, okay, I'm going to build an empire. So I made the mistake of abandoning my infrastructure. However, at that time, I also looked around and said, well, who will be my entrepreneurial infrastructure? Who is my network, and who are my advisors who will get on Skype calls with me before they go to work? Who will meet with me when we can have coffee, who will have remote virtual inspiration and collaboration. So I thought about team in a different way. And I went through my friends from graduate school, early friends from my production career, that one person from the management company who got that you can be successful without trying to kill people. And I set up regular meetings and said, what are we going to create? We had this idea of a natural intimate care product called Delight Wipes, which was a pre and post-coital cleanup wipe, so before and after sex wipe, that was based in coconut oil and vanilla. Very simple product, actually a clear product need. My father still doesn't believe there's a need. That's okay. So we said, okay, let's do it. Let's start with Delight Wipes. And we had an Indiegogo campaign, raised a very modest amount of $8,000. And I publicly went on the internet to talk about being the vagina wipe girl. that was one of the most intense experiences. It was actually harder than climbing Kilimanjaro, is every day getting up and saying, I'm going to have the courage to, whether this succeeds or fails, to continue on my mission, because my mission is love, inspiration, generosity, really teaching people how to live their best lives. We raised $8,000, and I had a manufacturer agreement with a non-US based manufacturer. And unfortunately, we lost $8,000. By the time we got the product in, we had an absolutely unusable product. So here I was, this founder of the sex wipe company, no wipes, and nobody to talk to. And at that point, my network was maxed out, my friends were maxed out, everybody was just kind of done. So I took a month to kind of reset. And I got this message from my friend, Kevin Winston, who runs Digital LA. He said, oh, we have a startup competition. Do you think you could pitch? Like, well, yeah, we thought about this Make Love More app. It's an idea on my computer. I said, well, you got a week. So in 1 week, that actually gave my team all this energy again to say, whoa, let's go down and pitch the Make Love More app. We don't know if that's going to be the next product of our company, but we're going to continue to talk about it. So the Make Love More app was quickly envisioned and designed as an intimacy-enhancing love and sex life app. We're going to look for content and information and give it to you to help improve your love life. It wasn't real. We didn't actually have an app, but we had the courage to try and the courage to fail. So once again, I got in front of a room of hundreds of people and walked out and said, my name's Summers Mckay, and I have a great sex life. That was also terrifying, but it was aligned with my mission and my goals. We won the Audience Choice Award at Silicon Beach Fest for an app that didn't exist, an idea that really was generated a week before. And it kind of invigorated my team again. And we said, okay, there is something about love. There's something about love. There's something about sex and sex health and intimacy. And maybe what we're building here is a portfolio of products that come together. So let's step back and think about it. What can be this company? So Jacques and I met that day, and he said, oh, I have this thing in Santa Barbara, and I'm still in Oxnard Shores with my cat, alone and with my virtual team. And he said, just show up, just come one morning, come to our Santa Barbara Entrepreneur. I think that was the second one you guys had. And again, with some courage of being the weird sex wife girl with the sex app who doesn't actually have a company, but kind of has an idea and has an infrastructure, but not really, showed up and said, okay, let's see what we can create. So in the last 3 months, we have again refined our mission statement. And it's a mission statement that aligns with my personal mission statement. And from that, we launched Summers Love Company, which is intended in the weeds right now, but intended to be a love empire that provides content, educational and inspirational content to improve your sex life. That includes our podcasts, Lovegasm, and Lovegasm interviews, which Roy Lynn, who is the owner of Tristology, is our initial interview on Lovegasm interviews. We have our Make Love More series. We are also launching, instead of launching the wipes first, we are in the process of preparing to launch our Coconut All Over Lube, which is a coconut oil-based lubricant. And it's different from what's on the market because we're taking coconut oil in its raw and organic formula, as opposed to the fractionated versions, and creating an opportunity to move that into the market. One, I can make that in a co-packaging space here in the area. I don't need to have another manufacturer create it for me. In addition, we're continuing down the road of looking at the Make Love More app and some potential app ideas and putting that into a timeline. We're also looking at a speaker series and an education series talking about sexual health and sexual education, because there aren't a lot of people willing to do it. And so we're looking at finding all the experts in the country who are doing it and helping them to elevate their game and their exposure. So in order to accomplish this, I've had to build a virtual team, get in there. And my virtual team and my resident team is a combination of friends from Los Angeles, people that I've worked with, as well as the team here at New Spheric. So I don't know what's going to happen next. I wonder what's going to happen next. I'm excited for what happens next. But I will read you the final mission statement or the present mission statement, which is bring forth the power to lead the world with love. Elevate the connection between sex and intimacy, and help those seeking heart healing to find love and joy again. So that is Summer's Love Company.
Woo!